ClassMateBot is a Discord bot that allows instructors to manage their classes by assigning assignments, grading assignments, and breaking students into groups. It also allows students to view their grades and instructors' calendars, along with many other features. Instructors can add different grade categories. By typing categories, I will receive a new DM that shows the current categories. The total for these categories adds to 1, so we should be unable to add a new category. One thing we added was that if you try to add a new category when it already equals 1, it will then send you an error message that the category cannot be added. The code we started with included an ability to check your grade for the class. However, if you had any assignment without a grade, it would not show you your grade and it would error. So one thing we added was the ability to see your grade without that assignment that's included. So you can see here, I'm missing one of these assignments. I'm missing assignment with ID 1. And when I do the command grade for class, I receive a DM and it'll show me my grade for the class rather than erroring. We also added a GPA forecasting tool. This tool uses the relation letter grades and the relation previous course grades to forecast what your GPA will be given your current grade in the class and your previous grades. And so these two relations are determined by whatever institution you go to. So if I do the command calculate GPA, I'll receive a DM that includes my current grade for the class, my current letter grade for the class, my current grade point for the class, my previous GPA, and my forecasted GPA, assuming this grade remains the same. To compute the GPA as we did previously, this requires knowing what a grade letter is for a particular class, which can vary from class to class and from professor to professor. So our current grade bounds look like this, and if I go over here and I add a new, or if I change the grade bound for grade A from 93 as the lower bound to 100 as the upper bound, what we get is that it was updated. And here, if I run the same command, we will see that now A goes from 93 to 100. Another feature that we've added is the ability for instructors to scan for plagiarism. So here's the document that I basically stole right off the internet. It's a quote from Lord of the Rings. And I'm going to enter that. It's going to call an API, which is basically like a free Turnitin API. And sometimes it takes a little longer, up to about 30 seconds to actually run this. And we'll receive in our DMs pretty soon the output from. So now we receive the DM, and we can see that we have percent plagiarism here, which is 94% because I just stole it off the internet. And then this first resource that it shows us is the biggest match, and this is actually the site that I stole the quote off of, so that makes sense. Now if I run the same command, but I run it on this other document, which is just something that I wrote myself, and this other document looks like this right here on the right. We now see that I receive a DM, and we see percent plagiarism 0%, and that makes sense because I wrote that entirely myself, and there's no links to show me at this time. Additionally, I can run the command grade for plagiarism, which will set the student's grade to 0 if it is greater than a certain upper threshold, say 50%. I'm not going to run this just for the sake of time, but it is a command that we've added.
We have added a command to add recurring lectures to your Google Calendar. Here we have the command called add lectures, which adds the course called CSC 510 located at Hunt Library, which starts at 28th November and ends at 15 December. Once this is run, it updates your calendar with that entry, CSC 510, which starts at 20th November until 15 December, and it recurs every week on Tuesday. Similarly, we can also add office hours for TAs. So this command, add office hours, with the TA name and the start date followed by the end date, adds the TA hours to the same calendar. We see that it's added over here. My office hours start from November 29th until December 15th, and it happens every week on Wednesday. We've also added commands to manage resources that are useful for the class. Each resource includes a resource name and a link to the resource. Once a resource is added, we can list all the resources. If needed, we can also delete a specific resource.